So let's talk a little bit about Nissan today. I've been on a long tangent in the last couple of weeks with my shorts and reels on Instagram, and I've been posting them on YouTube about Nissan. I've been telling people that Nissan's back. We won't talk about the CVT and sort of kind of how that messed them over a little bit with other decisions that they made. But I really am excited to talk about the Nissan Silvia that might possibly be coming back, and also the Nissan Skyline, and then the Nissan Xterra. And those are the three main vehicles right now that a lot of people are actually paying attention to. But if you look at the new Nissan Pathfinder, and then you look at the new Nissan Armada, and then the Infinity versions, at least to me, maybe some of you guys don't really care about Infinity right now, but I think that Nissan is on a great track. I think that they're going back to the 90s Nissans. I know that's a big claim, and I know a lot of people are going to look at me and be like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" Funny enough, I actually had a friend that he's following me on Instagram, and he said, "You're starting to make me believe that Nissan's actually coming back from the dead, basically, and going back to the 90s, like the golden era of Nissan, or one of the golden eras of Nissan." But I think if we start off with the Nissan Skyline, right? We also have news about the GTR, the Nissan Skyline. The Nissan Skyline is going to be a four-door sedan. It's going to have the afterburner, as I like to call them, circle taillights, and it's going to be offered in 6-speed and automatic, and it's going to be V6 twin turbo, rear-wheel drive. Don't know about the all-wheel drive variants yet, but I'm pretty sure it will be. I don't know how close they'll be to like a GTR all-wheel drive system. Nissan obviously doesn't want to step on the GTR's toes, but we're going to get that sedan for sure. Now, how is it going to come to America? Don't really exactly know yet. Of course, it's probably going to come as an Infinity. A lot of people talk about how it should come as a Nissan Skyline to America versus like a G35 or a G37 or, Infinity Q50. And a lot of people think that that would sell more. But my thing is that you have to look at the American market, and I don't know, because Nissan hasn't offered a vehicle that is, I would say, probably in like the 50, 60, $70,000 range for its whole existence in America for the most part, give or take a couple of models. But I don't think Americans are willing to look at a Nissan and pay what they might be asking for a Nissan Skyline. Now, my thing is, because I'm gonna work with this dream right here, I'm gonna work with it. My thing is that I started to think one day, okay, what is the scenarios? How could Nissan possibly do that? I think that they would have to offer a base model Nissan Skyline in America, give it the power, but give it in 2026, either roll up windows, I know that sounds crazy, but roll up windows, or give it like a more primitive, bare bones version of the Nissan Skyline from Nissan, so people will actually buy it. That's the only way that I can see that they can have the Infinity counterpart and upsell that, because it's going to be expensive. I don't see the Nissan Skyline, me personally, being under, man, if it comes to America as an Infinity, I don't see it being under $60,000. Like, that's just me personally. It could be in the 50s, but I don't see it being under $60,000 in 2026. From the current environment that we're at right now, where I think that there's some like Ford Broncos that are in the 80,000s, like I just don't see it. Also too, is if they were to bring it as a Nissan, they would have to probably limit the numbers, even though they do need a mass production Skyline, as far as like what mass production means for a Nissan Skyline. Of course, it's not a Honda Civic or a Corolla. They're not going to sell millions of them a year. But if you go that route and you try to sell it as a Nissan to regular people in America that don't know what a Nissan Skyline is, I think a lot of people will get privy to it and they will like it. But I think the average person will look at it and be like, I'm not paying, $50,000, $60,000 for a Nissan, unfortunately, because they don't know what we know. They don't understand the history of it in Japan and what it is to people that love sports cars or people that love Nissan in general. And then if you offer it too premium and you don't change it enough and you bring it to America as a Nissan Skyline, then you're not going to have an Infinity variant. And if you don't have an Infinity variant, because you can't switch it up enough to justify the cost of what you're going to try to sell it for an entry level or somewhat entry level Infinity, then you're just going to cannibalize the Skyline, just in general, like the Nissan Skyline. You're just going to cannibalize it. So I think Nissan is in a hard place with that one. Like, to bring it as a Nissan or to bring it as an Infiniti. But what I think that they should do, which they're thinking about doing, is they're thinking about having the Infiniti variant of the Nissan Skyline in Japan, and then they're going to possibly offer a retro-fitted like emblems on the Nissan Skyline. So like you can get an Infiniti variant, and then you can get it converted at the dealership to a Nissan Skyline. And they're actually talking about having that process being done without having to pay extra money, just like a free charge if you want it to be retrofitted. Now, if it's a badge thing, then yeah, they could do it easily. If it's the taillights are going to be different on the Infiniti variant, maybe. I don't really even know how that's going to work, but if it was to be different somehow, then yeah, it might cost a little bit of money, but I don't think that they'll do that. So this is going to be interesting. It's just no one really knows 100%, but the new Nissan CEO, he seems like he's on the right track with sports cars and trying to bring Nissan back. The Nissan Silvia, right? He talked about it the other day that the Nissan Silvia, he would love to bring that back. If we got an S16, it's very simple math. All you have to do, make it rear-wheel drive, make it a 2-liter to a 2.2-liter, turbocharge it, and give it 235 to 255 horsepower, and call it a day. Make it 6-speed, give it a great exterior design, make an interior that's simplistic yet different, but also not like super duper complicated, and give it a LSD in the rear, and make it 6-speed, and baby, we're gonna sell so many of these and keep it under, realistically, keep it under $45,000, realistically, because we gotta start thinking about encroaching on the Nissan Z. But a lot of people want to see it under $40,000. A lot of people want to see a Silvia that's between $30,000 to $40,000. I'm not saying Nissan can't do it. It's just, it's 2026. I'm not that hopeful that it would be that. The Silvia just needs to be simple. It needs to be a jack of all trades, and it needs to be able to do everything. If you want to build it and make it into a rally car, people can do it. If you want to build it and make it to a drag car, people can do it. If you want to build it into a circuit or drift car, people can do it. The Silvia recipe is very simple. We all want an S16. We all want a new Nissan Skyline. We all want a new GTR, and the enthusiasm behind these cars and the excitement, I think, will get people going back to the Nissan dealership. And that leads me to my next point. The Silvia is a very simple recipe that Nissan has done for so many years. They shouldn't be able to mess this one up, and they should be making money off of those cars when they do sell them. They should be able to move those cars definitely off the lot if it's turbocharged, and also offer a all-motor 2 or 2.2-liter version 2 as well. I think people would love that, so they don't have to deal with turbo problems down the road if some people decide to be an A. The new Xterra that's coming out for you guys, I know you guys gonna love it. I love it because it looks so boxy. It has the little like orangish, yellow, amber lights in the front. It looks super off-roadish. I think Nissan has a super big opportunity to make an off-roading truck that is not just boxy, but super duper unique. The front end doesn't have to be 100% boxy. And I think with the Xterra, if they put a V6 in it and they give it automatic, possibly, hopefully a manual version 2, and they make an off-roading or rugged truck that they know how to make. Look at the Xterras of the past. Look at the most special models and versions, and then implement that in 2026 with Square's design language that's rugged, and this will be a hit. Mark my words, this will be a hit. Also, I could see that they could offer a Rock Creek version 2 that makes it even more off-roading and more hardcore, and I guarantee Nissan will be printing money. Here's the thing. The new Armada, I love it. I think it's beautiful. The new Pathfinder is selling for Nissan. They're getting back on the right track. And Nissan has this beautiful position that I don't even know if Nissan sees. They're not small enough like Subaru and Mitsubishi and have those type of problems, but they're also not big enough like Toyota where they can sort of kind of take a lot of chances for too many generations and too many years. So Nissan can literally make their own path right now. They can be the car company that offers higher quality interior, higher quality vehicles, higher quality everything, and they don't have to worry about selling millions and millions of Honda Civics or Corollas. They actually are right in the middle of the pack, and they can literally make their own destination and own future about how they want Nissan to be perceived. Let's not forget the legendary Z, the 240Zs, right? Let's not forget the Z32s. Let's not forget the S13 Silvias, the S14, the S15, even the S12s, and all the Silvias from the 70s and 60s. Let's not forget the Xterras of the 90s and early 2000s. And I think if Nissan can execute the new Skyline, the new GTR, the new Silvia, and then after that, work their way down to the Sentra and Altima and give those Nismo versions or SCR versions if they want to bring that back, Nissan will be on the right path. That's my analysis of Nissan right now. I'm super excited. I'm actually trying to hold back my excitement. I know I'm very calm right now, but I'm really excited that Nissan's back because I'm a Nissan guy and I'm all Japanese guy. I love all JDM cars and all JDM brands, but I came in the game as a Nissan guy, and I really could never see a world in my lifetime that Nissan or any of the big Japanese manufacturers fall, because that would literally make me depressed. So please, guys, like, subscribe, turn on the bell notification so you can get all my videos. I'm going to do more podcasts and more rants. I think that this is important and good for the car community to let people know how you feel about things and the state of different car brands and car companies. And yeah, I really hope that Nissan's back. To me, Nissan's back.